Hi,
Hello,
I'm Denisha.
I'm Ashley,
And we're just here.
Oh yeah.
Well, good morning. Hi, hello.
Hello.
This is episode 4. It's going to be spooky Reddit stories, and
Yes.
I'm really intrigued with yours. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm intrigued with yours too.
I don't remember all of the details because, we did have an instance where we did have to re-record.
Yeah.
This should be the last episode that we have to re-record. We had to re-record the 3rd, and this will be the last one. We should be back on track. Everything should be solid. Knock on wood.
Please.
So we should be back on track after this.
Yes.
But if you're ready, I will go ahead and shoot it off with the first one.
Yeah.
My first story is going to be called Night Shift.
Okay.
My daughter's new nightlight projects stars onto her ceiling. She begged for it after the darkness started to scare her. The people in the walls want to play, she'd say, refusing to sleep. I blamed my ex-wife's true crime podcasts. The projector worked perfectly. Emily slept through the night, and I finally got some rest. Until she asked me to look at her newest friend.
Oh no.
He stands in the corner, she said over breakfast. Only when the stars are on. He's teaching me things.
What things?
I checked the projector that evening. The simple star pattern spun slowly, but something was wrong. The stars didn't look like stars anymore. They formed shapes, faces, moving faces. Emily waved at the corner. He says you're not my real daddy.
Oh no.
I switched off the projector. Emily screamed. Not her normal tantrum scream. Something deeper. Something older. When I turned it back on, the faces were clearer. One looked exactly like me. He says my real daddy is under the house. Emily smiled with too many teeth.
Chills.
With all the others.
Oh no.
Behind me, the bedroom door clicked shut.
No. I have chills from that story. Even
gets me every
hearing it a
time.
second time, I'm just like,
Rereading it always gets me because I'm like, it makes me think of
not well. I'm not well.
there was an
He says you're not my real dad.
old toy that you would spin, and it would show images. Like the faster it would go, it would show like a kid walking or a ball bouncing, kind of like a flip book situation.
Are you talking about like the thing that was in The Greatest Showman?
Yes,
Like the little lantern that would go? Okay. Yeah. Oh.
There's also in, I think it's Conjuring 2, because they go over to the UK for an investigation. But there's one of those, and it's the story of the crooked man. So like you see him.
Does he like walk like all kinds?
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of the Babadook.
Oh, I love that movie, but I cannot stand the child.
It's usually that way.
I love that movie, but it's
been a hot minute since I've watched that.
We should really have a scary movie day.
Yeah, we should. Also the fact that he said that her voice was older.
Something older and deeper. Yeah.
So was she like possessed at that point?
It could be. It very well could be.
Or like whatever was in the room was like
channeling through her. Because it said...
No.
Emily screamed, not her normal tantrum scream, something deeper, something older.
Oh my God.
So like it was probably like a very dark, I don't want to say demonic, but...
Yeah, sounds like it though. That's creepy. Well, speaking of children, my story is titled, When I Was a Kid, I Was Pulled into a Dark Void Under My Bed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked this one.
A little creepy. I know memory isn't reliable, but part of this story involves my dad, and he has confirmed his side, so here it goes. When I was maybe 7 or 8, I was in my bedroom standing beside my bed playing with my toys. It was a single bed that was pretty high off the ground, high enough that my sister and I were able to hide underneath it, and toys could fit under there, but any adult wouldn't. I was setting up a scene between Bratz and the Beanie Babies when something underneath it caught my attention. I very distinctly remember something grabbing my ankles and pulling me off my feet. I remember hitting the carpet and being dragged under the bed into a pitch blackness, but it felt like being pulled off of a cliff into a massive empty pool of black.
I could not
No.
imagine. I don't even like when you close your eyes and it's pitch black around the environment and you can kind of see like almost the tunneling.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, me neither. The next thing I remember, I'm standing in my bedroom yelling at my dad that pulling me under the bed wasn't funny. And I weirdly remember that it felt like I woke up in the middle of a sentence. He obviously asked me what the fuck I was going on about and very confusedly had to explain that it wasn't him and decided I must have fallen asleep and dreamt it. According to my dad, he had heard me screaming and came upstairs to see what was wrong, came into my bedroom and found me standing in the middle of my bedroom, freaking out at him for pulling me under the bed. My dad was a pretty typical dad joke, humor kind of guy. He jumped out at us from behind doors and poked us during scary parts of the movies and picked us up and carried us around by our ankles. So I guess in my kid brain, it made sense that I thought it was him. But it was not
But
him.
especially because like
It happened when he was downstairs and not even in the room.
Well, and they already acknowledged that the bed was too low for an adult.
And she got pulled under the bed.
Under and then down.
Down. There's no way that you're going to feel like you're getting pulled down.
Down. Because that's solid ground. So you like.
It's just flat. Like, yeah.
Ick.
Also, I mean, I guess she very well could have fallen asleep or was having like a daydream or something that felt too real. I don't know. I don't know.
Like there are some times whenever you jolt awake because you feel like you're falling.
Yeah.
But that still seems really intense for that kind of scenario.
Well, especially the fact that she's like literally freaking out in the middle of a room and her dad has to come upstairs and see what's wrong and she's completely distraught.
Right.
Like it felt so real to her that she thought it was her dad pulling a prank on her.
No.
Thanks.
I don't think I would be able to sleep in my bed for a hot minute after that.
Oh, heck no. Or I'd be stuffing a whole bunch of stuff underneath my bed so that way I know nothing could
Maybe that's why I did that as a kid. Because, like, I was always afraid of, like, the monster in the bed. Always had to have my feet covered completely because no monsters were touching me.
Nope, I still do that to this day.
Oh, no, same. I cannot have a foot out. Chris can do it. I don't know how he can do it. I can't. No. I can't. And then, like, on some occasions, I will have the blanket under my foot.
Yeah, like, wrapped. Like, you ain't about to do
You're not
that.
touching me.
Nope.
Absolutely not. And I always step, because our bed's kind of tall, so I will step out rather than just straight down.
Straight down.
So that nothing they have to work for it if they're going to grab me.
Yeah, honestly.
They're going to have to work for it.
Yeah, no. Nope. I'm good.
No, thank you.
This is why we have boxes underneath our bed right now.
Well,
not for the sole fact that I'm lazy, but
we keep ours
keeps
clear.
the monsters away.
We keep ours clear because the cats sleep under there.
Oh, our cats still sleep under there. They just sleep amongst the boxes.
So there's a polar bear plushie down there, a heart pillow down there, and then some sheets that I didn't feel like putting away that I just shoved down there. But other than that, that's it.
Empty. As long as the cats are going under there, then you should be,
I know. And they
good.
got our backs. I know that. But also at the same time, like,
it's still under the bed.
Exactly. No, thank you.
No.
So my next one is going to be called The Vengeful Guardian.
Okay.
The forest hums with life at night. The rustling leaves, the distant cries of the unseen animals, the creak of ancient trees. They don't see me. They never do until it's too late. Tonight, a group of young people have come to camp here. They set up their tents near the clearing, close to the place where I wait. I know their type. They make campfires too large, leave trash behind, and speak too loudly, as if the forest was theirs. But I don't move. Not yet. The moon is high when I hear the snap of a branch. The sound is deliberate, calculated, familiar. He's here. I catch his scent on the wind, oil, sweat, and decay. My chest burns with a rage that I've carried for years, but I don't rush. I wait, just as I always do. The man steps into the clearing. He looks at the tents, knife glinting in his hands. I see his eyes gleam with craze. The youngsters are unaware of the danger. They laugh, they toast marshmallows, oblivious to how close to death they really are. Oh, God. My moment comes when the man reaches for the zipper of the nearest tent. He pauses, sensing something. I let the darkness shift, just enough for him to notice. His head jerks up, eyes scanning the trees. He mumbles something and walks away from the tent. Good. I follow him as he retreats, letting him think he's alone. The forest grows colder and he moves deeper into the woods, away from the others. He stops, turning sharply, his breath quickening. "Who's there?" he calls. I sense the fear in his voice. I step closer and he sees me now. His bravado fades. "What? How could you?" he says. I can see the blood drain from his face. I laugh at him, staring into his soul. He runs and I chase him, just the way he did to me when I first came into these woods. The same woods where he cornered me and where he ended me. He trips, falling hard to the ground, his knife skittering away. I loom over him now, my form solidifying in his panicked gaze. His screams echo through the trees, but no one will hear him. The campers are still laughing, unaware of the blood-stained knife now buried beneath the leaves. They'll leave in the morning, returning to their homes, their lives, their loved ones, something I could never do. Still, I'm glad they have their chance. It's all I can do now. The forest hums again, and I fade back into the shadows, waiting for the next predator to enter my domain.
So did they kill? They killed that guy?
They killed the guy.
I'm wondering if he...
So I think the same guy killed them.
Yeah.
And so now they're just
They
going
got
to
their
be
revenge.
the vengeful guardian, the protector of the campers, the hikers, and
That gave me a chill. Whoever wrote that, first of all,
brilliant.
brilliant. Amazing writing skills. I could not write something like that.
That's what I thought I could write like back in my Tumblr days, but definitely not.
Shoot, no. Me neither. Oh, I like how you could imagine the whole story in your mind, though.
Mm-hmm. Like it
makes
actually
you kinda
plays
like-
a movie.
Yeah, but it makes you kind of like, since we do go camping, like what's actually out in the
What
woods?
goes on whenever we go to bed?
Yeah. Ugh.
Because you remember the scream we heard.
Yeah.
So like, what goes on?
That'll be for another episode.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty. So my next one is called "My Cats Hate the Thing Downstairs."
Valid.
Yeah. Yeah. The cats don't like it. It's not it's not a
for
good
it
thing.
if the cats don't approve.
Nope. So it says, a few years back, I lived in a small house in a really sketchy neighborhood. I mention that because this house was incredibly secured, bars over the windows, and a metal bar screen doors. The experience I'm going to share could easily be written off as an intruder looking around, but in this case, that's just not possible. I have tons of stories about this place if you guys are interested in hearing more. I believe in the paranormal, but I consider myself skeptical in the sense that I always try and find a logical explanation before assuming anything paranormal is going on. Valid.
Fair.
I feel like that's
yeah,
a typical
and
thing to
most
do.
people.
Yeah. Kind of helps put your brain at ease a little bit. Some of the experiences I've had at this place, including the one I'm telling here, I have zero logical explanations for. Inside the house was me, my roommate, and my 2 cats. Roommate and I were passed out in our rooms, and around 3 in the morning, I hear this absolutely inhumane sound emanating through the house. Cat number 1 was sleeping next to me, and once the noise started, all her hair stood up. Not a good sign. And she began to whine. I looked around the house, and cat number 2 wasn't in his normal sleeping spot in the kitchen, and I noticed the basement door was wide open. I checked the locks before going downstairs, and this shriek is still happening every 3 to 5 seconds. Roommate was awake and groggy by this point as well. Once I got downstairs, I saw all the lights were turned on. There were 4 lights, all of which had light bulb chains that needed to be pulled to turn on. I quickly found the source of the sound. Cat number 2 was shrieking at nothing in the corner. Cats are not just going to do that,
No.
first of all. They're not just going to sit there and shriek.
Maybe meow, maybe
Yeah,
like the
not
little skittering they
shriek.
do, but
Oh.
no.
I immediately felt sick and like something was really wrong and I needed to get the fuck back upstairs. I grabbed my cat and he lashed out at me and clawed at my arm right up until I got back into the bedroom. And then he immediately calmed down and slept until noon the next day. This cat was essentially feral but never bit or lashed out like he did that night. It was the only time I'd ever seen him genuinely terrified. Despite the fact I was cut up to all hell, I wasn't mad at him. You can't be
No,
mad
you
at him.
can't.
He was terrified. I felt something truly evil down there, and for the rest of the time living there, neither of my cats would so much as look near that door and would whine near the steps anytime my roommate or I would go down there. think it was just a book.
Yeah, but what book did I knock over?
Right behind you, I think.
Oh, The Resurrectionist. How fitting.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. Something spooky was down there in the basement.
It's a very good book, though. I do recommend.
Okay.
It's got pretty pictures.
Hell yeah. It looks
It's like
good. It looks
part,
pretty.
like part pretend autobiography, part like textbook style about all the like things that you can resurrect.
Yeah, interesting. I remember last time we were doing this, I said a quick little blip of whenever I lived in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a creepy basement in Utah. Long story short, I think I had accidentally invited something into the house unintentionally. We had recently lost a dog and we thought we had heard like sounds throughout the house that kind of reminded us of our dog. And so we're like, okay, you know, if that's you, you're allowed to stay, you know, whatever. I don't think I quite worded it in the way that I was
were too
supposed to. I was too vague. And I just remember after that, the cat that I had at the time, I heard him in the other room. I didn't know where he was, but he was making this god awful, like, it wasn't a shriek, but it was just a noise that he had never made before. It was like a gurgling meow. I don't know how to describe it. But finally, whenever I found him, he was in the kitchen and he was at the top of the stairwell that led down to the basement. And he was just staring down there. We didn't have any other cats or any other animals that would have been down there. So I'm like, what the heck are you making this noise to? Mm-hmm. And so when he finally saw that I was there, he turned around and he just goes, meow, like a normal meow, and then walks off. And I'm like, because his stuff was down in the basement, like his cat box and food and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know. That basement always gave me the creeps. And like after that, I had seen like a shadow figure out of the corner of my eye go past the door. And I don't know, that house gave me the creeps. And I really think I accidentally invited something into it. But
yeah, I mean,
that
it's
just
definitely
reminds
possible.
me. Yeah. But anywho.
Okay. So this one is my new one.
I'm excited.
This one is called
Bring It On.
You Are Not Alone.
Ooh. Interesting.
I really liked it.
Okay.
So it's not like story, more just like prose, if anything. But
Okay.
I really liked it. So it says, you sit on your couch, the only light coming from the dim glow of your TV. The apartment is quiet, too quiet.
Of course, it's in an apartment.
You tell yourself it's just another night alone, just like all the others. And then you hear it. A soft shuffle, a whisper of movement. You freeze, straining to listen. Maybe it was the neighbors. Maybe it's just the building settling. But then it happens again. Closer this time. Your breath catches in your throat as you slowly turn your head. The hallway leading to your bedroom is dark, but something feels off.
Oh no.
The air is heavy, charged with something that you can't explain. And then you see it. A shadow, a shape, just barely visible at the end of the hallway. Someone is standing there. You stare. Your mind is scrambling for an explanation. Did you forget to lock the door? Did someone break in? You reach for your phone. Your fingers are trembling, but when you glance back up, the shadow was gone.
Oh no.
Your heart hammers in your chest. You should leave. You should run. But something in you refuses to move. Instead, you force yourself to stand. Your body is rigid with fear. Slowly, cautiously, you step forward to the hallway. You are silent, and you flip on the light. There is nothing. Your bedroom door is open, just as you left it. The apartment is quiet, so maybe you imagined it. Maybe it was just the trick of the light. You shake your head, exhaling sharply. You're tired, that's all. You just need sleep. You turn back towards the living room, and that's when you see it. A reflection in the TV screen. A figure standing right behind you. The breath leaves your lungs. You spin around, and the light goes out.
Oh no, 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 no. No.
That story reminded me of your basement when you lived at home. Your basement bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, that gives me so many chills. There.
A figure standing right behind you.
Yeah, no. Was it the last time that we recorded this that we were trying to describe the basement downstairs? Because I don't think it was in the cursed objects.
It had to have been this one then.
Yeah. So long story short, the basement. My parents, they live in a split level house, and my room was the whole downstairs of it.
It was very nice, but very creepy.
Very creepy. So not only did it have two French doors that go straight outside, they live in the middle of nowhere, so it's in the country at night and it's quiet and
Pitch
just,
black.
as soon as the doors open, you just have view into the woods. There's like 3 or 4 windows that are down there. Granted, they have blinds, but still creepy because as soon as you look out of them, it's just straight down into woods. There was a staircase with a little water closet underneath there that you had to walk past to go to the bathroom.
Also, because you said this last time, and I didn't know this, but the doors to the crawl spaces.
Yeah. So at each end of the room, so the wall that they're on is like half brick and then half just the normal wall. Well, there is 2 cabinets. There's one at one end of the room and one at the other end of the room. And Denisha didn't know this until the last time we talked about this, like a week ago.
Still be wild.
And she stayed there. And had she known that, she probably would have freaked out a little bit. But yeah, the little cabinets, you open them up and it's just all dirt and up underneath the crawl space of the house. And so, yeah, just imagine living in that room and knowing that behind those cabinets that had no lock, mind you, they could just, if they wanted to.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I always slightly judged John for being scared of it down there. But after you telling me about the crawl spaces, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it was a creepy room. Don't get me wrong. That alone, like, sure,
Yeah.
it gives you the creeps. But then knowing that there's access that close.
We really do think something has to be going on with like the land or like a history with the land, because the house before we purchased it had one owner for like a year. So it was pretty much brand new, but there has to be something out there with the land because there's so many things in that house that we can't explain. Yeah. Nothing ever like bad or anything ever happened, but there's definitely like you catch things out of the corner of your eye and I don't know, it just
there's something going on.
A little spooky. You're right. So my last one is called Imaginary Friend.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, this one kind of creeped me out a little bit whenever I was reading it. So for context, I was about 13 years old when it all started. I've always had vivid memories of when I was a child, remembering things as far back as 3 or 4 years old. I had just turned 14, and it was a chilly January Thursday night when we moved in. A much bigger house than our last. We needed the room after all. Having 7 kids wasn't easy on my parents. My little sister, Neve, had an imaginary friend, Paul. But nobody thought anything of it, of course.
Such an odd name for an imaginary friend, too.
Paul. Yeah. The first night, as I was organizing my shoes and putting all my posters out in my own room, to myself, mind you, she was wandering around looking at my stuff. She then said, "Paul would like your closet. He likes you." I barely gave it any notice, as she would say that stuff all the time, and apparently Paul had always lived in my closet for some reason. She was only 7, so I brushed it off. But just when I was dozing to sleep in my new bed, I heard something in the corner of my room, like a tapping or creaking noise. Then my Rottweiler sitting on the end of my bed stood up and started growling. I ignored it as I thought it was just the pipes or something, so I flipped over in my bed. I then felt the feeling of someone sitting on the end of my bed. I thought it was just one of my sisters climbing into my bed, something that they did when they couldn't sleep. So I ignored it until I felt that thing lie down behind me. And in the corner of my eye, I seen a dark shadow-like hand hover over my waist, and I moved over to get a better look, as I don't like when someone's touching me as I'm trying to sleep. Then it feels as if, in record time, it gets off my bed in less than seconds as I'm turning over. I saw nothing, of course, but then I heard my closet door open and shut loudly in the other side of my room, and my clothes hangers rattled. Oh yeah, Paul.
Oh yeah, Paul, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Creepy.
It was trying to spoon.
Yeah. Paul apparently really loved her closet. Also, I forgot that the title of this was it wasn't the pipes. But I couldn't remember the title of it. So I just put imaginary friend. But it wasn't the pipes. making the noise. It was Paul.
I am disgusted.
Just imagine that your younger sibling says that they have an imaginary friend and they like your closet. They like living in your closet. And noticing that something is trying to lay with you at night. And then you go to look at it and it scurries off into the closet. And then you now know
And slams the door.
And slams the door. Enough to shake the hangers in the closet. And you now know it is the imaginary. So I'm assuming that's the first time she ever had it like manifested. Like
Probably,
it was ever like
yeah.
anything physical.
I
She
would
would
be-
always just shrug it off.
I would be telling my sister that Paul needs to move out and can stay in your closet.
Yeah. Paul is no longer welcome in my closet. He needs to go to your
Absolutely
closet.
not.
Heck no.
Wow.
Yeah. No. You know, I don't think I ever had an imaginary friend.
I don't think I did either. I had a very specific stuffed animal that I loved, but
Yeah.
definitely I don't think I had any imaginary
I
friends.
don't think I did either. No. Did y'all have imaginary friends? I didn't.
I did not either.
Were they actually imaginary, or were they spoopy ghosts, or what?
I just all I could see.
The ghost was trying to cuddle.
Struggle
Paul was
snuggle.
trying to cuddle.
Struggle snuggle.
That would have been a struggle snuggle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh no. But anyway, yeah.
That is episode 4. Mm-hmm. Ew.
Yeah. We just figured a nice little
A little
chill
fun.
episode.
Yeah.
Would be cool.
We're gonna have to do more of those though, because like there are some really good stories.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. I like how whenever we're looking them up, there's a mix of like true stories that actually happen to people, and then ones that there's just amazing writers that come up with these short stories. I don't know. It just still blows my mind that these people can come up with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
These stories.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our next episode 5.
5. That is crazy.
That is a whole hand.
This shit's happening.
I know. I'm so proud of us.
Me too.
Episode 5 is about cursed. Thank you. Cursed film sets.
Yes. Part 1.
Yeah, part 1.
Part
We're
1.
gonna do a kind of like a little mini series where we talk about cursed film sets or the dark side of Hollywood and kind of the things that go on in that regard. So a little bit of paranormal, a little bit of true crime, kind of combination of everything.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in that, be sure to stay tuned, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.